During my senior year in college, I was homeless, and I was sleeping on random couches and floors. I slept on a garage floor once. Uh, I didn't view myself in the best light, and I began comparing myself to everybody and everything. And there was one moment where I was uh, I was standing outside, and I was a full time student. I had a full time job as well. But I was standing outside and I was watching this homeless man walk around and ask people for money. And he caught me looking. And so he started making his way toward me. And as he was coming toward me, a car was passing by. So he came to a stop. And as the car was passing by, the windows were down in the passenger seat. And he pulled out a wad of cash. And then when the car finished passing by, he looked up and noticed I saw it and quickly put it away. And he continued walking toward me, and then he asked me, I didn't even let him finish, see, but I knew he was going to ask me for money. I didn't want to waste his time, so he was like, hey man, do you have, and I was like, I don't have any cash. And then he looked at me in disgust and then said, we all trying to make it, and then walked off. But little did he know, I only had $40 in my account. And my money was used for college expenses, personal expenses like toiletries and whatnot, food, and getting to and from work. So I literally had nothing at the end of each check. And to see him with that large amount of money, him being homeless, that shifted a lot of, that fucked with me for a while. But as I continued down the path of homelessness, bouncing from place to place, my final destination, if you will, was when I was here in Dallas, and the guy indirectly kicked me out. And I'm glad he did. It was at that point where I realized that I was making the conscious decision to remain homeless and bum off of people. I adopted that as my identity. Just as that gentleman who walks around asking people for money views himself as homeless, so he walks around begging for money versus detaching himself from that thought and existing and doing great things, When I came to that realization, that's when I felt a full sense of relief. And right then and there, opportunities started coming. Like doors began opening. And so I began to dissect what thought was or thought is. Thoughts, or they're based off of experience. So anytime you incur or you experience something, a thought is formed. And that's where it ends. And if you attach yourself to that, then you've attached yourself to the past. Thus, you've set limitations on yourself. Therefore, you can't move forward, or you can't experience life to its fullest extent. And when I came to that realization, I didn't want to be successful or I didn't have any thoughts of being successful, rich and all that. Just immediately, I didn't want any of that. I just wanted to exist, experience life. Like whatever comes my way, I welcome it in full. Like, let's go, Cause to not want something to happen, there's no telling what could come out on the other side. To always want to be happy, it's like, why not enjoy everything the same? Because it's inevitable. There's going to be times where you're gonna feel some sort of way, happy, sad, angry, whatever. There's going to be times where you succeed or fail, whatever that means. Nonetheless, something is happening. Life is happening. and you meet people through those incidents, through those occurrences, good or bad, you know, positive or negative. To me, they're all the same. They're just experiences. And when you only want to experience one part of life, or not even one part, one small portion, you're robbing yourself of true joy, you know? So me personally, I believe that it's it's wise to exist and move freely and allow life to form and run through you versus restricting it and, you know, trying to control everything and fit one narrative. And, you know, it's binding yourself to thought isn't the way. And that's what I've come to a realization of. So that's it.